Breaking news coming in the last couple of minutes as federal prosecutors are now investigating Vince McMahon over the allegations made against him in a recent lawsuit filed against McMahon, John Laurinaitis, and WWE. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling, and the allegations against Vince McMahon, now former executive chairman of TKO and formerly involved in WWE as well, have taken yet another turn, and this time it's serious involvement when it comes to federal prosecutors investigating the former CEO of WWE. Now, this comes from the Wall Street Journal. As I mentioned, this is a breaking and developing news story in the last couple of minutes, saying that prosecutors in New York in recent months have been in contact with women who have accused Mr. McMahon, Vince McMahon, of sexual misconduct, the people have said. The billionaire resigned last week from the wrestling empire he long ran after former WWE employee Janelle Grant filed a lawsuit accusing him of sexually abusing her and trafficking her to other men inside WWE. McMahon has denied Grant's allegations and said the federal probe won't find wrongdoing. He referred to a statement from last week saying, quote, "I intend to vigorously defend myself against these baseless accusations and look forward to clearing my name," end quote. Now, WWE didn't respond to requests about the probe or about the individual woman's allegations. Over the summer, federal agents executed a search warrant for McMahon's phone and delivered a subpoena to him for documents related to any allegation of, quote, "rape, sexual trafficking, sexual assault, commercial sex transaction, harassment, or discrimination," end quote, against current or former WWE employees. Now, the grand jury subpoena, described to the Wall Street Journal, offers the first window into the investigation, which began in 2022. The Journal reported in 2022 that McMahon had made payouts to several women who accused him of sexual misconduct while he was the CEO, and that prosecutors were investigating the payouts. The subpoena also sought communications between McMahon and these women, including Grant. The businessman and TV personality resigned as executive chairman of WWE parent company TKO Group Holdings on January 26, the day after Grant's lawsuit was filed. Her complaint contained graphic depictions of sex acts and copies of explicit text messages. Now, Grant and at least 4 of the women named in the grand jury subpoena had entered into settlement agreements with McMahon over allegations of sexual misconduct. Prosecutors have interviewed some of the women, the people have said. Grant's lawsuit said McMahon agreed in 2022 to pay her $3 million to keep silent about their relationship, which she said began after they met in 2019 at his luxury apartment building where Grant also lived. Grant, who worked in the talent relations and legal departments at WWE from 2019 to 2022, said in her lawsuit that McMahon stopped paying her after an initial $1 million wire transfer. The other women named in the grand jury subpoena include a WWE contractor who McMahon allegedly sent unsolicited nude photos and sexually harassed, a former WWE wrestler who said McMahon coerced her into giving him oral sex, former WWE referee Rita Chatterton, who publicly accused McMahon of assaulting her, a spa manager who said McMahon assaulted her at a Southern California resort, and a former WWE employee who alleged the head of talent relations at the company at the time, John Laurinaitis, demoted her after she broke off an affair with him. Now, McMahon has long denied the allegations made by Chatterton, first made publicly in a televised interview in the 1990s. He agreed to a multi-million-dollar settlement in late 2022 without admitting wrongdoing. His lawyer said he agreed to the settlement to avoid the cost of litigation. McMahon hasn't addressed the allegations made by the other women. Now, as for what lies ahead, we really don't know. John Laurinaitis also appeared in Janelle Grant's lawsuit, which said McMahon directed her to visit Laurinaitis at his hotel rooms, where she had sex with Laurinaitis before the start of workdays. The suit also alleged that the two men took turns restraining and assaulting her inside WWE's offices on one occasion in 2021. Laurinaitis, a former wrestler known as Johnny Ace and a longtime WWE executive, left the company in 2022 after the allegations against McMahon and Laurinaitis were made public. Laurinaitis hasn't publicly commented on his departure, but what we have heard is a statement from a lawyer for John Laurinaitis. This came out over the last couple of days. Now, a lawyer for Laurinaitis, Edward Brennan, said, quote, "We deny any and all allegations and will vigorously defend the charges against Mr. Laurinaitis in the appropriate setting." Now, Brennan said Grant's lawsuit doesn't highlight any examples of Laurinaitis making sexual demands or exchanging items of value. Quote, "Count how many times in the complaint Vince exerts control over both the plaintiff and Johnny," he wrote in an email referring to his client. "It's a good complaint. It just doesn't list all the victims, including Johnny." Now, Vince McMahon briefly left WWE in 2022 during a board investigation and returned in early 2023. Soon thereafter, he negotiated a sale of WWE to Endeavor, owner of the UFC Mixed Martial Arts League. The deal created a new publicly traded company called TKO Group Holdings, and until last week, McMahon served as its executive chairman. Now, TKO had warned investors about the risks associated with WWE's longtime leader, who remains a major shareholder. In securities filings last year, TKO Group said McMahon's presence on the board could result in negative publicity and, quote, "Any further allegations and investigations may have an adverse financial and operational impact on our business performance." Now, again, this is a developing news story, so we don't have any more information on this right now, but certainly it is quite interesting, as I mentioned, when it comes to the statement provided by John Laurinaitis, who was also named in this lawsuit last week. Now, as I mentioned, according to a statement provided by Laurinaitis' lawyer, Edward Brennan, this came from Vice News yesterday, the former head of talent relations maintains that he is a victim in this case, much like the plaintiff, Janelle Grant. The quote once again said, "Mr. Laurinaitis denies the allegations in the misguided complaint and will be vigorously defending these charges in court, not the media," Brennan wrote on Laurinaitis' behalf. "Like the plaintiff, Mr. Laurinaitis is a victim in this case, not a predator. The truth will come out." When Brennan was asked to then clarify whether he was claiming McMahon was the predator in this case, he wrote, quote, "Read the allegations, read the federal statute, power, control, employment, supervisory capacity, dictatorial sexual demands with repercussions if not met. Count how many times in the complaint Vince exerts control over both of them." As cited in the lawsuit, Laurinaitis was named as one of the men that McMahon allegedly recruited for Grant to regularly have sex with, both with and without McMahon himself involved. Grant was supposedly told to create, quote, "explicit content" for Laurinaitis, who she claims attacked and assaulted her alongside McMahon inside Laurinaitis' office in WWE headquarters. Grant's lawsuit charges Laurinaitis with civil battery, intentional or negligent infliction of emotional distress, and violation of the Victims of Trafficking and Violence Protection Act of 2000. Now, of course, the last couple of weeks have been quite big weeks for WWE and TKO, one of which saw the announcement that Monday Night Raw, WWE's flagship program that Vince McMahon created back in 1993, heading to Netflix in January of 2025. Now, a Netflix executive gave a blunt answer to a question regarding Vince McMahon on Wednesday. The company's content chief, Bella Baraja, met with press at a media event in Hollywood on Thursday. When asked about McMahon, she only offered a brief response, saying, quote, "He's gone, so he's not there, he's gone," Baraja said. Now, also at the event, Netflix's Brandon Rigg, who is the vice president of nonfiction, responded to questions regarding the deal to bring WWE content to the streaming service, saying, quote, "The truth is, we don't know how much bigger it can get," Rigg said of the WWE audience. "I think we are really bullish on it, but we know that has an incredibly consistent audience for the last several decades. And so that's really first and foremost where we're starting at, and then we'll see where we go from there." Now, the allegations against McMahon were also addressed by Janelle Grant's attorney on Thursday, and Callis spoke with Morning in America about the culture of corruption in WWE and the number of those who are coming forward and willing to attest to it. She said, quote, "My office and my inbox have had a barrage of people wanting to come forward to attest about this culture of corruption and also possible victims," she said. "We are just beginning now to wade through all of this, but we are frankly overwhelmed." So that is the latest developments regarding all of this. What are your thoughts about the latest developments when it comes to federal prosecutors investigating Vince McMahon over these allegations? What are your thoughts on really having a first window into the grand jury subpoena that was put to Vince McMahon last year? Let me know your thoughts on all of it in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.